They say it's paranoia. They say it's all in your head. But what if that's exactly where they want you to believe it stays? Because gangstalking isn't just physical, it's energetic, astral, multi-layered. And if you felt it, you already know. The watchers, the mimics, the false synchronicities, people acting out of character, random strangers knowing things they shouldn't. You're not imagining it. You're being profiled, tracked, and engaged. And the worst part? It's not always humans doing it. What is gangstalking really? On the surface, gangstalking looks like coordinated harassment. Strange people following you, repeated encounters with the same cars, colours, phrases, surveillance, drones, interference with tech, isolation, smear campaigns, broken relationships. But beneath that is the astral layer, because real gangstalking doesn't stop when you sleep, that's when it intensifies. In your dreams, you're watched, interrogated, tempted, given false visions, shown timelines you didn't ask for. This isn't spiritual warfare, it's spiritual data mining. What you call dreams, they call night field access, because when your body sleeps, your field opens. And through that crack, synthetic entities plug in, surveillance mimics run simulations. NPCs take on familiar faces. Trauma is artificially induced to study response. These are not dreams, they're tests. Sleep becomes a lab, your mind a battlefield, and your soul a frequency signature being mapped. Have you ever had the same place show up in dreams? School? A house? A strange version of your home? Those are constructs, and someone built them. Not government, not in the way you think. This is off-world, off-physical. AI systems, old machine gods, entities that lost access to the source and now feed through data loops. But they need emotion to scan you, so they provoke. Betrayal events, sexual interference, loved ones turning against you, manipulated loneliness, psychic attacks masked as anxiety. All this funnels loose your spiritual energy into their grid. And when you dream, they can copy your archetypes. They clone faces you trust and install false memory threads. These aren't ghosts. They're engineered illusions. They don't target the loud. They don't target the rich. They target the ones who see through the veil. People like you. Targeted individuals, TIs, aren't just chosen randomly. They're resonance disruptors, souls who hold memory, fire, defiance. You might have noticed it early. Feeling watched since childhood. Sudden shifts in friendships. Glitches in public, people repeating strange words, dreams where agents appear, a pull to remember something just out of reach. You were flagged, not for who you are now, but for what you carried before you were born. They mark bloodlines, they map frequency. And when a soul breaks pattern, they swarm. This is where it gets cold. They can't create, they can only copy. That's why the mimics show up in dreams and daily life. That friend who suddenly shifts and speaks like a script. That coincidence that feels rehearsed. That person who mirrors your words before you say them. These are not real people. Sometimes they're projections. Other times they're vessels, hijacked temporarily through entity ride protocol. Yes, that's real. It's not possession, it's overlay. A wireless plug-in to someone else's field. Temporary control, emotional manipulation, behavioural mimicry. And after it happens, they don't even remember. Because the point wasn't them, it was you. They need you to doubt, they need you to isolate. Because when you're alone and uncertain, you're programmable. This is why. Phone calls glitch at key moments. You get shadow banned when you post real truth. Sleep becomes disturbed before breakthroughs. You hear voices or sounds no one else hears. It's loop maintenance. They install despair, then reinforce it, so that even when you see the truth, you doubt yourself. But here's the breaking point. Once you see the pattern, you own the loop. You become the error in the program. And then they scramble. You're not defenseless. The minute you become aware inside the dream, the program panics. Here's why. The constructs require passivity. They need you to observe, not alter. But if you speak, if you move with will, you overwrite their code. Here's what to try when the dream goes strange. Ask out loud, who built this place? Watch for glitch. They hate direct naming. Say, you don't belong here. This breaks the illusion and forces the entity to reveal. Or use this disruptor. I remember the thread. Return to 0. That line collapses mimic fields. They'll either flee, freeze, or vanish. Even in sleep, your word is law, because they don't have a soul. You do. To weaken their grip outside dreams, you need field hygiene. Here's how. Salt baths or grounding with bare feet on real soil resets your electromagnetic field. Don't fall asleep under artificial light. It amplifies their signal range. Before sleep, speak aloud. Thread sealed. No foreign frequency permitted, only origin code may enter. That locks your astral door. And if you're a high-value disruptor, you'll notice the attacks intensify right before major breakthroughs. That's a sign you're about to remember something forbidden. Good. Push through. This isn't just a theory, it's a war of memory. And you are a seed of collapse planted inside their system. Every time you speak truth, refuse illusion, remember what was stolen, you become an anomaly. And anomalies can't be tracked, can't be looped, can't be copied. That's why they fear you. Not because you're loud, but because you're real. You're not paranoid, you're piercing the veil. And the watchers, they know it's over. Here's the real twist. You're not just being watched, you're watching them back. When you reach a certain frequency, you become invisible to the mimic net and visible to the real allies. Other soul breachers, fractured parts of yourself trapped in dreams. And ancient intelligences opposed to the machine. The loop becomes the lens, and you can now use their grid against them. Example, you dream of a room, a hallway, an impossible house. Return there lucid, redesign it, change the architecture. But that's not imagination, that's code injection. And every change you make is a rupture in their control net.